Welcome to Interrogation, a game where two contestants have up to 20 questions to unravel a mystery. There are no prizes. It's all just for fun and glory. First contestant, the category is location. Go.
Is it on planet Earth?
Yes.
Is it in the United States?
Yes.
Is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Is it in the Northeast?
Yes.
Is it a city?
Yes.
Is it New York City?
You got it. Congratulations. You did. That's where, just out of trivia, that's where What's My Line was filmed in. The original game show was in New York City. Now all game shows are, I think, filmed in LA. You know, they all switched over there, but originally it was in New York City. All right. Well, Rick, what else can you tell us about, first, again, what's your the book's title, a little quick what it is, and anything else you'd like to tell us about it?
Sure. The book's title is Bill the Vampire. It is the first book in my complete Tome of Bill series. There's 11 books in total in it.
Oh.
And I will say this, it is definitely for adult audiences,
Okay.
Not kid friendly.
How what way do you mean that? Is it strong language, yes, sexual situations?
It is what you call an R-rated movie of the mind, in that yes, there is a lot of language in it. There is a lot of gore and violence. The comedy is definitely a bit off color. There's really not too much in the way of intimacy. Bill just doesn't get that lucky.
Okay. Well, cool. So, like, what age would this be? What would be the youngest age would be appropriate for this? Would this be something teenagers would want to read?
I think teenagers could get into it. I mean, I have kids myself. And
how about preteens?
Preteens, something I'm very hesitant to. A lot of the humor is kind of sophomoric, but I'm kind of hesitant to say anybody below 16, really, just because I don't want any angry parents showing up at one of my conventions and beating me up.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's a good way of putting it. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. I guess it's good to hear. Not family friendly, in other words, not something the grandparents would read to the grandkids.
Well, they could. I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
That might be kind of hilarious to watch.
Well, yeah. Probably the parents. Would the parents get upset if the grandparent read this to their child?
I think it depends on the parents, but I would say, yeah.
Okay. Well, just let people know, this is the fifth in the. Isn't this the fifth in the fifth round we've done?
I believe it's fourth.
Yeah, fourth. This is the fourth round. This is a best out of 9, first to 5. We've only had 2 victories so far. Both have been won by Rick. If you'd like to see how this series is going to develop on out, encourage you to subscribe to the channel. If you're an author or a YouTuber and would like to appear on the show as a contestant, in the description, there's a link to where you can fill out an application form. After this commercial break, we'll bring on Sir Willow and see how he does. And this time, wow. Okay. We'll see how his response. I bet you when he comes on, he's going to think that I again made up a number. So anyways, we'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back to Interrogation. George, would you tell us a little bit about your channel and anything else you'd like us to know about it?
Sure. One of the things I love, as Sir Willow, talking about my time working at the theme parks, in the Confessions of a Theme Park series, I love sharing the stories of those special moments with guests, the ones that make you cry, the ones where you see the Make-A-Wish kids come in and see the Disney characters. I've seen.
I cried when you told the story about the one that when they left, like an hour later, they died. It was like,
yes, we had one young girl.
Rick, here,
I can tell the story real quick. We had this girl come in to a place that we call Toontown. We actually had 3 different meeting rooms with different characters in it. And we got a call that a very sick girl was coming in for Make-A-Wish. And so they actually closed everything down and brought all the characters into this one room for this girl. She was probably about 12, and they actually wheeled her in a hospital bed with everything hooked up to her. And I just basically stepped back. We had another photographer start shooting pictures, and I just watched these characters love on this girl. It was just an amazing moment, and you got to see things like that. And then after they sent her back out really sick, we went back to work and started doing our thing. And a couple hours later, I went on a break. And as I was coming back from my break and walked past where my boss was, I noticed the girl who did our equipment crying. And I was like, what's wrong with you? And we had just gotten word that the girl that had been in those rooms had passed away. So one of her very last moments was seeing all these Disney characters love on her. And loved being able to share stories like that.
I know. I remember watching that video and literally shedding a tear. And I was like, wow. And here's one thing I wanted to ask. They got to know that these kids are going to die, right?
Sometimes, yes. Most of the time, part of Make-A-Wish's statement is that their children suffering life-threatening conditions. But many times when they're on a trip to like Disney, they're in a condition that it's not necessarily critical at that point. Sometimes it is, but most of the time they're on the recovery side of it.
I'm just wondering I don't know. I'd cry. I mean,
we did.
How do they do? How about the princesses, the actors? How do they not cry? I mean, I assume that they don't want the cast members who are actually like Snow White to cry with her. But do they there were a lot of them afterwards that you could spot them out back where the guests don't get to go, and they were out there crying. There are some, what we call the fur characters, they can hide their tears a little bit better because they've got the mask on. But trust me, everybody in that area was crying that day. Yeah, but I mean, what I'm wondering about is the ones that can't hide behind a mask. How
you
they have
suck it up
to do what? They bite their tongue.
Just like any other job you have, you can't let your personal stuff show up when you're in front of customers. It's like acting. It really is acting. And so you put on the game face and you do the show and you wait until you have that moment you don't have to anywhere, and then you go find a corner and you break down, and then you fix yourself up and you go do it again. And yeah, your theme park workers do that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've followed Make-A-Wish, and I think isn't it Disney World the most requested destination for these kids?
Yeah, there's a whole resort down in the Orlando area called Give Kids the World Village. And it's a whole place. It's a resort designed specifically for the kids with these special needs coming in. Amazing.
You should do a video about that. You should go and visit that.
I volunteered when I was down there, but when you're volunteering, you don't take pictures because you don't want to intrude on all the kids' personal stuff.
But maybe you could ask them, maybe contact them now. I mean, your channel's big enough.
I'd love to. I don't know when I'm going to get back down to the area again. That's going to be the hard thing. It's going to be a couple of years probably before I can get back. But I've got an invite actually to do it. It's just a matter of being there to do it.
Okay. I just,
sometime.
When I was wondering about that, I was wondering if I could have, I don't know. Wait, Rick, could you pull it off? Could you?
Something I did theater all throughout college, and George is right. It's like once you get on stage, you are that character.
Yep.
Really? So this would not phase you. A dying kid would not phase you.
You have to learn to compartmentalize.
Mm-hmm. You very much, when you're doing that kind of a thing with acting, as soon as you step on, you really almost forget completely who you are in reality, and you are doing that role until you can step off again, and then you can shed the character. And yeah, you
So Rick,
learn to do it.
if you were being this person and you're not behind a mask, you're telling me that you could bring in a kid on a hospital bed and you would not break character?
I can't say that for 100% certain, but I understand the mindset of it. That because once you put on that costume, you're not you are that character.
But when the character care, I mean, when the character care, I mean, like Snow White.
Yeah, but you still, because you don't want that child to see it. You're presenting them something magical and otherwise. And so, yeah, I'm sure that they're struggling. I'm like, so we hid behind our cameras. We held the cameras up so they couldn't see us crying. But you do, because it's only for a little bit, you kind of put on the brave airs. And
I've never been an actor. I was coarse. That was about, I was an extra on a high school play. My second oldest brother was the king in King and I was basically his line reader. I knew everyone's line that he would talk to. I would read it to him, and after a while, I didn't even look at them. I just
and the other thing to also remember is that you have on stage, especially, you have other actors there, and you kind of build off each other. So if you start losing it, somebody else is there to kind of pull you back.
Yeah. And when I was a robber at Silver Dollar City, because we had 2 robbers and a conductor typically.
Yeah, he robbed trains.
Yes,
that was his job. Hi, hon. What do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a train robber. Trains.
Yep. But it was the same kind of thing, because we had a very goofy, very bad joke-filled shtick that we did. And we would have people ride the train, and we would find out ahead of time they had special needs. And it was the same kind of thing. We would play up to them. But if at one point one of us started to get caught up, the others would then do something or say something, pull you back out, and okay, you back into what you're supposed to be doing. And then you wait until they're gone, or in Disney terms or drama stage terms, once you step off stage, then you can let it out. But yeah, as long as you're performing or on stage.
So just out of curiosity, Rick, because you were an actor, when you stepped off stage, how long would it take you to get out of the character?
Depended entirely on the character.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the person.
I did this one role where I had to talk in a British accent. It took me a week to lose the accent.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, it's a world I've never been part of, really.
Yep.
Okay. Well, contestant. The category is location. Go.
Is this a U.S. city?
Yes.
Is it New York?
Wow.
I'm gonna take a selfie with the loser who is me.
Wow.
Nice.
I didn't think I would.
Wow. What a comeback. I thought it was going to be 2-0. Now it's 1-1. Oh my.
You hit that like a meteor.
What made you think that? I mean, you got it in 2.
U.S. cities. What major U.S. cities are there? New York, L.A.
The reason why I picked it was that's where What's My Line was filmed in, was New York City.
And that's kind of where I was going. It's like,
where's West afterwards?
Yeah.
No, I think even this. No, I think the syndicated What's My Line was still filmed in New York, but almost all you think of any game show, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Let's Make a Deal, they're all in LA now.
Yep.
Okay. Well, wow. I'm impressed.
That was a.
I thought cool.
Two's the number to beat, and I think I'm conceding to that one.
Okay, well, next video be round 5. 1-1 with 2 ties. We'll see everyone there.
Yeah.
Bye.